to my lecture in this Essen event. My name is Paula Piccolo, and I work with board game and education. I've been working in this area since 2014. Before that, I have been an English teacher here in Brazil since my 17th. And well, I graduated in law. I worked as a lawyer for a few years. I gave up and became a full-time teacher. Also, I am an instructional designer, and mainly I use these board games, these modern board games in the classroom. I help teachers using them and with adaptations, variations, and so on. Well, basically we work dividing board games in 3 groups. One that I called Game for Fun. Game for Fun is the commercial game which is created for entertainment, and entertainment is the root of it and the target. Then I call another category of the Just to Learn. Just to Learn, I don't name them game because they are a gamified structure or a structure used for reviewing contents, and they are basically the most traditional learning games you can see at schools, for example. And then what I try to do is to mix what Just to Learn should be and what Game for Fun has, like helping people learning and having fun. So then we mix, and the category we try to work is Learn for Fun. Learn for Fun means that a game should be fun and somehow also learn or teach. When you play, you learn something. Not necessarily something that have been taught before, or which means you can learn by doing. Some commercial games, the Game for Fun, are already instructional material. It's just like knowing how to direct the activity. And some of them have to be adapted so that we call them Learn for Fun. Well, let's talk about these modern board games in English classes. Nowadays, I'm teaching at a regular school, high school students, but most of my career I've taught private students, and I can say that basically I have my adult students that they work and they need English to work, to go, to travel on business, to attend a meeting, to change emails, phone calls, and this kind of things in English. They gotta practice. And also I have some retired students that they wanna practice English because, or they've been traveling abroad more oftenly, or because they like exercising the brain and practicing a second language is sort of the best way of doing it. But I also could classify my students in another group, which is the group of the children of my students. Some of my adult students, non-retired adult students, they have children, teenagers, sometimes children, and they also are my students. And I use board games with all of them. The point is, when I come with a box of board game to these elder people, they feel pretty uncomfortable. And they're a little bit afraid of, am I going to understand this whole thing? Will I know how to play? Or will I sound a little bit stupid in front of my teacher? So the first approach is a little awkward, but since it's offline, it's cardboard, it's paper, this kind of thing, they feel more comfortable, and after a while they are playing, having fun. When the class is over, they mention they have liked it, they've enjoyed, and they ask me to bring more board games over. The adults, when I come to the class and I say, here is the box of the board game or card game we're gonna play, generally they say, ooh, challenge, accepted. But they also feel a little ashamed because it's childish in their mindset. I can't waste my time with toys. But they accept the challenge, we start playing, and after a while, again, they are enjoying, they are having fun. Most important, they are learning and practicing English. And they, too, ask me to bring more board games over. And the other group, the children and teenagers, oh, these guys, they basically love the board game classes. So I think that some of them, they can smell the box in the elevator, and they know that I'm approaching with a board game thing. So when they open the door, they already say, like, what's this game about? Instead of good afternoon or whatever. And they're so excited about that they, which is an interesting point, but they all start doing a setup of the game, and they set up as they think it should be. They're paying attention to the explanation and setting up, and while the explanation says this or that, they rearrange it, and they are paying attention, and they are touching the meeples, the dices, and reorganize the tokens as I teach them how to play. And they focus much more on the game than on the conversation. The adults, they play, they have fun, but they're pretty worried about, am I going to make a mistake while speaking or not? It doesn't happen with the youngers, and so the board game classes are just fun. I'm gonna show you a video, and this is one of my former teenager students talking about the classes we used to have with board games.
Hi, my name is Caio, I'm 21 years old, and right now I'm in the university doing a degree in psychology, and also looking forward to study abroad next year, when things start to get back to normal with the corona vaccine. So, I started my English classes with teacher Paula when I was 9 years old, I guess, and I stayed 5 years having classes with her. And at first we used some English books, those that have colored pages and then black and white pages for homework. And then she started to to also introduce me to some board games and card games, so that our lessons don't get bored, and because the books are, I was starting to get bored with books, and yeah, I wasn't learning so much in the books. And when she introduced me to the board games and card games, we could play them in English. And I think that was when I learned the most, because, well, we basically have to communicate the whole game, and I ended up learning not only how to play the game, but also improving my own skills with communication in general. And for that, I need to thank teacher Paula for all she has done for me. She teached me in a fun way, so I could learn without getting bored.
Well, and how do I use the board games in the English classes? Well, basically we play the game as it's meant to be, but there is a main focus in the language, in the vocabulary. There is a lexical focus, I wouldn't say approach at all, but we think about how to improve or to think faster and bring up more different words while we play. So for example, if we play code names and we play in pair, like a duet, yeah, or if there are more students, anyway, we play the game as it is meant to be. But one example, instead of saying, oh, there are 3 cards from my group, my team, that are related to sports. So the leader, he can say sports 3, and then his group knows that there are 3 cards to point somehow related to sports, and they try to guess the correct one. So, using this rule, we take advantage and we do something like now 4. So my group gotta find 4 cards with 4 different nouns and try to try to score anyway. Or I can go with something like adjective 3. Or I go like, I don't know, verbs 2, this kind of thing. So we can try to use grammar groups to make card groups while we play. We can also try something also related to vocabulary, less to grammar but more to lexical, and say space 4, and then the group gotta point 4 different cards with spaces like bedroom, New York, outer space, and I don't know, here. See how different are the words, but they all related to space. We can do that, and students gotta think in English doing that, so it's a great exercise. Another game I play during the English classes, as usual, as the rules say, it's Dixity. Dixity we play normally, and it's already a great English exercise, a language acquisition exercise, and so, but we can do it a little bit differently. For example, well, we always have the speaker, and the speaker has to say the theme of the round. So he goes, okay, he takes one of his 5 cards and he says, fairy tale, puts the card upside down, everybody takes any card related to fairy tale. Anyway, we play the game normally. The point is, the speaker has to say hints, but related also to a major theme that I suggest them. Just at the beginning. Later, they can decide this kind of themes too. So, for example, now, who is the speaker? Oh, the speaker is Jennifer. Okay, Jennifer, your hint gotta be related to feeling. A feeling. So, she is gonna decide what word to say, but it's gotta be a feeling. So she's gonna say comfortable. She's gonna say, choose the card and say, for example, I don't know. Interesting. Curiosity. A feeling. Sadness. Happiness. Then next speaker, and I say, okay, play as usual, but relate your word or your idea to, for example, music. Related to abstract now. Relate the hint to disease. Relate the hint to school, education. And then they go. They gotta find like a main group. The hint is in a smaller group inside the big one. And the game goes in the normal way, but with these other connections. So we practice more the vocabulary in this way. Another game I play a lot in the English classes is timeline. Whoops. And we can play it as it comes in different subjects that it has. But I really enjoy using this game mechanics, but with the students' own cards, and they show their timeline, their life timeline. And it's pretty good when you're starting the year. All the students are back to school. Some are like first day at that school. They're trying to get along. So I think it's a good activity. First of all, it's entertainment. It's something they're going to enjoy. Second of all, they're going to have an experience to present each other in a playful way. The point is that I'm going to bring to you some videos, and the teachers, they have tried this life timeline game in a gathering and a welcome activity at the beginning of the school year. And you're going to see that kids have enjoyed, but teachers have noticed and learned much more from their new students than they thought they would.
Foi bem interessante.
Conta aí como é que foi. Vocês fizeram a cartinha? Ou eles
A gente fez o espaço em branco, né? E eles tinham que desenhar, criar o card dele, né? E colocar a data do acontecimento. Então, como era pessoal, eles colocaram a datas importantes para eles. Data de nascimento do irmão, casamento do papai, casamento da mamãe. Só que aí Teve criança que colocou lá dia importante, o meu nascimento, e que com um rostinho triste. Então,
Uau!
então assim, essas crianças a gente encaminhou para a Cris, a gente passou essa timeline de algumas crianças para a Cris chamar os pais, para poder conversar, né? Então, assim, teve uma criança lá que só tinha, nossa, pena que ficou tudo na escola, só desenho de cruz, o nascimento parecia caixão, cara, foi muito trash. Então, assim, como a gente fez a timeline, como era fatos importantes para começar o ano, coisa muito legal, mas acabou servindo também para o socioemocional. Nascimento do meu irmão e a criança triste. Entende? Então você consegue detectar, e a gente caminhou tudo para Cris, que ali ele tem alguma coisa para ser resolvida com o irmão. Eu acho que foi mais surpreendente, a intenção não era essa, detectar fatores socioemocionais. Era para eles jogarem mesmo, né? Colocar a data e depois eles fizeram em mesa a timeline misturando os fatos importantes da mesa, entendeu? Então, mas eles tinham que saber a ordem cronológica ali. Então, em 2009, o que vem depois, 2010, né? O que veio antes. Então, ficou bem legal. Mas o que surpreendeu foi o que a gente conseguiu detectar de socioemocional dessas crianças.
So, this experience I've shared with those teachers and they have applied came to me because when I was teaching a group of children, one of the students, his father was pretty ill with cancer, but I hadn't been told, so I didn't know anything. I was teaching normally. One day I called his attention and I was a little bit more straight with him. And the other day the other teacher said, oh, no, that student, he's going through a bad time. His father is almost dying, so don't be so tough with him. Be more kind. Okay. No problems about being more kind. The problem is that I didn't know about it. And later, the father died, and I didn't receive any notification. So imagine me not knowing that, but a boy of 7 years old who had recently lost his father, I, not knowing that, come and ask him something like, all right, how old is your father? Where does he work? Or the worst one I can think of, where is your father now? So I decided from that day on that I should know deeper my students before I start teaching them at all. So this is an important tool. I suggest all of you to start teaching and learning relationship with this kind of experience of sharing and knowing the history of their lives before you make any serious mistake. Well, and make it playfully. Yeah, that's the idea. Well, I hope you have enjoyed some of these tips. I try not to be so theoretical and more practical, so that you can already, after listening to this, and thank you for listening to this, you can already apply one or two hints with your students. Yeah. Anyway, I do believe in the power of games and education. I think they are one of the richest tools we can use. I know it doesn't work with everybody. I know it's not a solution for everything, but it can't be forgotten. It can't be put aside. It's something kids enjoy, adults enjoy, elderly enjoys, and something that teaches a lot. We can learn zillion things from them, so let's try to use it more in education. I am Paula Piccolo from Brazil, and thank you for watching this. Bye.